work, obviously. Get some progress notes and group notes done. Won't be going anywhere really exciting this weekend. I am actually going on Sunday to, I guess it's called Union Church. It's actually right near my work. I am going after church to, sorry, my allergies sucks right now during this time of year. Like, completely sucks. So tomorrow after church, I have an 87-year-old church friend from the last, 2013, 23, like 13, 14 years. They've been my friends, so probably when they were in their mid 70s, maybe early 70s. It's an amazing friend. Always got along, always connected, always spent time in church and out of church, spending time with this person. Their name is Hank. But yeah, I've been friends with them since they were a lot more healthy, you know, compared to like early 70s to sort of now they're in their late 80s. They've been having more health complications. I should say, he identifies as he, him. But, over the last 2 months, he fell a handful of times. He's in his late 80s, so he has gotten weaker. He's now at a point where he's sort of like in need of using his walker. But yeah, so he fell. He ended up at a rehab center. Really sad. Like, when you see somebody, you knew them in their early 70s, and, while early 70s is not all that healthy, he was for sure in his tip-top shape in the early 70s. And now you see that adjustment where it's like all of a sudden he's not going to be able to go home. The doctors at the rehabilitation center and at the hospital, when he ended up in the hospital, said, you can't be at home anymore. And I always wonder, it's not, I've kind of come to grips with most of my aging relatives. They're getting old, they're in their late 70s, early 80s, and my grandmother's 101. So it's not so much that, it's like wondering how getting into that person's shoes, we talk about, I've talked about, it's empathy. And, hi, Shopping Berserk. I don't know if I said that right. But anyways, how does it feel to be in that person's shoes? When you're, in your late 80s, you're told you can't go home anymore and that you're going to need, assisted living, or you might even need a nursing home. How does it feel to be at that end of your life kind of thing where you recognize that things are being taken away from you? You can't go home. You have to rely on a walker or something. And, you see that you're at the end of your life. I can't even imagine how that feels. I'm 46, getting closer to 47. And I'm still young. I'm not arguing that. I'm young, but at the same time, my husband is 50. We still have a good amount of time left in our life, quote unquote, because you never know what's going to come upon you. A lot of things can happen in life. Heart attacks, cancer, all sorts of things can happen. Hi, sub 2K, LOL. I don't know if I'm pronouncing all that right, but hi. Yeah, how does that person feel? My grandmother, 101, she kind of finally laid out this idea that she's ready to go. She's ready to die. I can't imagine how that feels. That sort of realization that you have to let go, that you have to end, it's going to end. I kind of say I'm a Christian. I go to Unitarian Universalist Church, so they're a religion that believes everything and nothing all at once. But I don't know if I really fit there. But unfortunately, what I've noticed about a lot of churches, at least in and around me, they're all dying. But that's a sad thing. But I haven't lost my Christian roots just because I'm in the Unitarian Universalist Church. Like I still kind of lean into hi Candace saying, I don't know if I said that right, but hi. No, I don't know how that feels. And I feel like I almost want to ask these people, how does it feel knowing you're at the end of your life? But I don't want to say that, obviously, because that'd be very cruel. But I mean, they are obviously feeling those things. And I've talked to them about, just how do you feel? Like I want to see them do healthy habits so that maybe they can stay with us longer. But I thought of that when my grandmother hit 100. I was trying to get her, encourage her to eat healthier things, try to go for more walks on the unit that she lives in the nursing home. Like, use your legs. And now all of a sudden she can't use her legs. Have a good day shopping, berserk. But yeah, it's got to be a hard feeling. And I guess, the only thing I can compare it to is someday I will have those feelings. Like, when you're 101 years old or 87 in the case of my male friend that I was talking about at the earlier onset, he's not able to take care of himself anymore. And it's it's got to be a horrible feeling. But I guess, I think with my beliefs, back to that, like, I believe in heaven. I also believe in this earthly realm because some religions teach that there'll be sort of heaven on earth. Some believe it's heaven, heaven. I think, I've talked to others. There's this viewpoint of sort of reincarnation. There's this viewpoint of sort of your own heaven of your own creation of heaven. I think I subscribe to that, honestly. But you have to start thinking about those things. Like, at the end, what do you want to say happens? And my husband kind of goes with this idea of when he dies, that's it. It's the end. And I don't have to hurry up and get across the street here. I don't think I like that. That when you die, it's just done. It's over. I started having these feelings and these thoughts more because some of these aging individuals in my life started talking about it more. I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. Because, I now that all these people are getting older, yes, I've had people die in my life. That's a fact. I've had people die of old age. I've had people die of cancer, unfortunately. I've had relatives die of heart attacks. But it's like all of a sudden I've been more recently forced to have to think about it more. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking think about this. Don't make me think about this. This isn't fun. This isn't exciting. Like, I don't want to think about it. Leave me alone. Don't talk about it. But unfortunately, I'm faced with, I don't much have a choice because they're all talking about it. But yeah, like to be in their shoes and to have those feelings, it's gonna be hard. I do not want to have to think about it when I get old. Like, nope, I'm gonna keep going. I am determined in a sense. Like I recognize my mortality, but at the same time, I recognize I've been eating healthier I've been exercising more. As I said, I take Saturdays now. I used to drive into work Friday and Saturday and only walk into work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And now I find myself, I'm walking to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, each day. The entire amount of walking when I do public transit is 4 miles. So if I walk all 5 days, what is that? 4 times 5, 20. I cannot do math right now in my head when I'm trying to walk. But yeah, 20 miles of walking every single day. And then Monday through Friday, it's 35 to 45 minutes of exercise between all the stuff. I don't know if all of you have heard me say this. Like I do cardio, I do strengthening, I do core, I mix it in with yoga and Pilates, the high intensity training, which kills me. Um, but I'm more determined to do that, and I've kind of pushed my mom to be more determined to do that. Like she's 75. I think some of you have heard that. Um, but yeah, like I want my mom to do those things more because I'd like to see my mom stay healthy for the next 25 years. You know, I know she doesn't have that guarantee, but I'd like to see her have that much longevity. And then, if I look at myself, I'm 46, almost 47, 57, 67, 77, 87, 97. So like, I'd love to see 50 more years of life. But enough of that. This next coming week, I have a few different things planned. Like I'm going to be going to visit the friend. I'm going to be going to a few different events throughout the week. One's like it's like I can't even remember. My husband had us signed up for something. It was something to do with music and DJing, which is really cool. My husband does a really good job at that. He mixes music and mixes soundtracks, which is really kind of neat. So I'll do that, and then other than that, nothing else planned for July that's that exciting. I plan on going up to Vermont at the beginning of August, to go bike riding with my mom because that's my new fun thing. Like I love that my mom is still bike riding, so I get involved with that, and it's a lot of fun. We don't usually go far, like maybe 10 miles of biking, which for me, biking hasn't been about exercise as much as it is about spending time with my mom doing bike riding. Like it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. It's kind of nice that my mom is bike riding with me, and we go to all these different places to bike ride. Bike ride in the forests, bike ride along the coastline. Um, we've been biking Burlington on their Burlington bike trail. Been bike riding in Vermont. And it's not even about the healthy lifestyle choice. It's about this engagement with my mom, this engagement with nature. I feel like it's a very valuable thing. I think the next time I get on YouTube Live, I think I'm going to have some questions prepped. And I'll have like maybe 3 to 5 questions that y'all can engage in, which will be really fun. But I do have to get off relatively soon. I'm almost at work and I got shit to do. I almost just fell. That was not cool. Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed weekend and blessed day. I wish you a wonderful weekend, okay?